Today is July 24th, 2018. My name is Joe Todd. This is an interview with Robert W. Hamilton in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Sir, where were you born?
I was born in Garland, Kansas.
I'm sorry?
Garland, Garland.
Okay, Garland, Kansas. When's your birthday?
8/4/30.
30. Who is your father?
William Hamilton.
And your mother?
Mary A. Hamilton.
What was her maiden name?
Lochner. Locker.
Locker. Did you go through school in Garland?
I went to grade school in Garland.
Mm-hmm.
And then we transferred out into the country, and I went to a school by the name of Buck Run out in the country.
Buck Run. And what year did you graduate?
8th grade. Let's see, what did I graduate? I don't know what.
Okay. And where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school at Arcadia, Kansas.
Arcadia.
I graduated there in 1948.
1948. Who was your favorite teacher?
In grade school, I would say Leah Howard.
Leah Howard. Why was she your favorite?
I don't know, she just treated me real nice. And she was a good teacher.
How big was the Buck Run school?
Oh, there was only about 12 or 13 individuals.
Okay. Was it one-room school?
Yes,
Okay.
one-room school.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What kind of work your father do?
He was in the coal mining business. Him and his brother and another lady, they owned a steam shovel, and they dug coal. My dad ran the shovel.
Now, was this around Arcadia?
It was around, not around Arcadia, it was up north of Arcadia, out in the country.
What part of Kansas is that?
Garland, where I'm from, is, you know where Fort Scott is?
Yes.
It's southeast of Fort Scott,
Okay.
about 12 miles.
Okay. What was the name of the coal company?
The big coal company was the Kelly Carter Coal Company that he
Kelly
worked for.
Carter. Okay.
That was after they shut down their coal company.
Okay. 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 Did you play sports in high school?
Yes, I played football, basketball, and track.
Have a good team?
Not really. No, we weren't too good.
Okay.
It was a small school.
Okay. Where were you when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor? 1941.
Well, I was in Garland.
Okay. What did you think when you heard about the Japanese attack?
Well, back then I was only, 11 years old, so I didn't think too much of it then. But later on, after the war started and everything, why, it kind of hit what was going on and everything.
Did you help with the scrap metal drives, the rubber drives?
Yes, we did. But in grade school, we had a scrap metal drive.
Where did you take the scrap metal?
We had one of the neighbors hauled it off to Fort Scott, Kansas.
What about VJ Day, when the war ended?
Well, everybody was happy.
Is there a big celebration there?
Big celebration.
Yeah.
Well, town wasn't very big, so it was a pretty good celebration.
Okay. Now, was that in Arcadia?
No, that was in Garland.
Garland. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what did you do after high school?
Well, I worked for a telephone company, and then I worked for a construction company, and had worked on the farms up around there, helped the farmers.
What did you do in the farms?
Oh, drove tractor, plowed, cultivated, and we baled hay and shocked oats and wheat and just all the work that goes on at the farm.
What tractor did you have in the farm?
the farm hall,
Farm Hall.
the old farm hall,
Mm-hmm.
and Alice Chalmers. They had some of the farmers did, but most of them had farm hall tractors.
Okay. Where was the wheat elevator?
Let's see, one in Fort Scott.
Now, how far was Fort Scott?
Oh, it was 12 miles from Garland.
12 miles.
Around,
Okay.
where we
Okay.
lived.
Okay. Was there a movie theater in Arcadia?
Yes.
How often would you go to the movies?
Well, we never did go to the movies in Arcadia. They always had a free show in Garland out in the middle of the street. They blocked off the middle of the main street,
Mm-hmm.
and they had free shows there during the summertime,
Okay. What, on Saturday?
Saturday night.
Okay. Where were you when North Korea invaded South Korea?
Well, I was still in Garland.
What did you think when you heard about this?
Well, I was getting at the age, that I'm probably going to go sometime or another, and I was a little scared, really.
So did you enlist or were you drafted?
I was drafted.
And when were you drafted?
I was drafted in 1952, I'm sorry, in February. And we went from Fort Scott to Kansas City and took our physicals. And then when we got in Kansas City, why they were taking them into the Air Force and the Navy and the Army and the Marines. And there were 6 of us in town that went up there when I did. We thought, well, we'd just volunteer for the Marine Corps. And that's what we did. 6 of us volunteered for the Marine Corps.
And you went in the Marines?
And we went in the Marine Corps.
Where'd you go for your boot camp?
San Diego, California.
How'd you travel to San Diego?
We went on train.
How long did that trip take?
Oh, that was 2 or 3 days. I forget just exactly how many days it was, but it was 2 or 3 days to get out there.
Now, had you been out of that area before?
Not really.
Had you seen the ocean before?
No.
First time you saw the ocean, what'd you think?
But, well, I kind of surprised how big it was.
Tell me about boot camp.
Well, boot camp was kind of rough. We had when we got in our squads, this squad leader, we had 2 squad leaders, drill instructors. And the first day, they went around and asked everybody up and down the ranks what your name was. And so when they came to me, I says, Robert W. Hamilton. And that drill instructor looked at me, just stared at me right in the face. And I don't know if I should say this or not what he said, but
Oh, go ahead.
but he said, I'm none of your G-damn relation. That kind of scared me. His name was Hamilton. And he gave me a rough time all during boot camp.
What type of training did you have in boot camp?
Oh, we had marching drills, mostly. And then we had our rifles, and did all the rifle maneuvers, And then we went to, after we graduated out of boot camp, we went through boot camp for, I think it was 8 weeks. And they did all the marching and kind of making it rough for you.
Now, was boot camp geared toward Korea?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, it was, after we got out of boot camp, then it started, I got shipped up to Camp Del Mar in California. And being that I'd worked for the telephone company and everything, I was put in communications. And I ran a switchboard there in Del Mar. There was 4 or 5 of us ran the switchboard. And we did that for, 2 or 3 months. And then we did guard duty and everything like that all the time we were there at Del Mar. And after that, why, I was there about 2 or 3 months, and then I got shipped over to Camp Pendleton, which is just across the street or road from Camp Delmar. And I got transferred over there, and well, I put on mess duty for a month. And it wasn't too bad. We had mess duty with the women Marines, and same mess hall and everything. They worked just like we did. And I was on mess duty there for a month. And then I got transferred up to advanced training. And we went up and, we did the rifle range, and we went out on bivouacs and camped out, and we'd pretend we were charging a hill, we'd try to make the hill. We were moving, and we did a lot of training right there in there. And then, after we got through that training there, well, they shipped us up to cold weather training because they knew it was cold over in Korea. So we went up to cold weather training there in California, up in the mountains. And after we got up there, it just snowed, and we really couldn't do anything. You couldn't hardly get around. We were just lucky to be able to get a place to sleep.
Where in California was the cold weather training?
I was up in the mountains, up north in the mountains, north of Camp Pendleton there. And we trained up there in the cold weather training. And after we got out of that, and then we went back down to the camp, and from there we were shipped out.
Okay. I'd like to ask, what's your most vivid memory of boot camp?
Well, probably that drill instructor named Hamilton. He gave me a rough time. I mean, he made me do push-ups and run around the platoon and march drill the platoon. He made me get out there and drill them, and I didn't know what I was doing really. But he'd get out there behind me, and he'd hit me over the shoulder if I wasn't doing something right. And it was rough.
And when did you ship out for Korea?
Oh, gee whiz, shipped out in December.
December of 53?
No, 52.
52. You recall the ship you're on?
Yes. The USS Menifee, I guess the way you pronounce it.
USS Menifee. You shipped out from where?
San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah.
What were you thinking getting on the ship and shipping out?
Well, what did I think? I just thought what was ahead of us, It was really scary. Because I don't know, there's 4,000 or 5,000 of us boarded that thing.
Mm-hmm. What kind of ship is it, Menifee?
Well, it was just a big troop ship. I mean, not all was on it. I mean,
what were your quarters on the ship?
well, they had the racks, stacks, and I had the one way up.
How high were they stacked?
About 6 high.
6 high?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty high.
Mm-hmm. How'd you pass the time on the trip?
Well, my platoon, we stood guard duty at an open door. We'd stand at just an open door and stand there. And that was it, And then they'd put us up on the deck. And I remember one night I was up on the deck standing guard duty out on the bow of the ship. I had my helmet on and my rifle and everything. I don't know why I was out there, but they just something for you to do. Mm-hmm. Well, while I was out there, I happened to lean over the rail, and my helmet flew off. Lost it. And about that time, the OD came around. He gave me a rough time over that because I lost my helmet overboard.
Had you been assigned to a unit?
I was.
So what unit were you assigned to?
This is when I went overseas, this is the one that I was assigned to.
Company, 1st Battalion,
1st Battalion,
2nd Infantry.
right.
What?
TR Regiment, whatever that stood for.
TR Regiment.
Yeah, and TC2, I don't know what that was either.
Now, were you in a division?
At this time, I was not just in the company.
Okay,
When we
okay.
went overseas.
Okay. Now, what is TC2? Do you know?
I don't,
Okay.
offhand, that's just what they had. Now, that's after I got overseas while I was in a
Okay.
different,
How long did the trip take?
it was about 1940, let's see, we got over there in February.
Okay. Now, did you stop on the way to Korea?
We stopped in Japan,
Japan.
right.
How long were you in Japan?
We were there one night,
One night.
and then we shipped out the next day and went to Korea, and we landed in Incheon,
Incheon.
where we got off the boat.
I was going to ask, on the trip over, what did they tell you to do in case the ship was sinking?
Oh, they have life jackets and lifeboats
Okay.
that go down.
Have enough lifeboats for everybody?
Oh, there's a bunch of,
Okay.
they got a bunch of them all hanging around.
Okay. What'd you do at Incheon?
We just got off the ship, and then they loaded us up on trucks and took us up to the 1st Marine Division. And then up there, they assigned us to whatever we were going to be up there.
Okay.
And I was assigned to the Signal Battalion because I had been in communications. So I was assigned to the company and battalion, or actually platoon, actually. And we were there for a while, and then we got our orders, and there was what they call a wire team, and there was 5 of us on a wire team. And what we did, we laid communications, telephone lines from the division up to the companies, and kept the communication going between the division and the companies.
How'd you lay the wire?
We had spools of wire, and we laid cables.
Mm-hmm.
We did a bunch of those, and we'd hook them up, and we'd make a cable out of them.
Now, with this spool, was it on a vehicle?
No, it was just we carried them,
You hand carried.
hand carried them,
Okay.
and we just made a cable out of those wires. We just let them go out. And
How long would you lay the cable?
Oh, it depends. Some of them they're 4 miles. I mean, they were, and a lot of them we strung up on poles. Now, I've got a picture someplace, I don't know whether I've got it here or not, of me up on a pole. But, no, there's one of the old pictures where we had a box.
Where was this taken?
I was taken over in Korea,
On Korea?
yeah. And there's our wire team there,
Oh, this is the wire team.
yeah.
Yeah. Which one are you?
Right there in the middle.
Oh, you're right there, the middle. Mhm. What type of weapons did you have in Korea?
I had an M1 to start with, and then somewhere along the line I got a carbine,
Okay.
and then after the carbine I got back to the rifle, the M1 rifle.
Now, how far behind the front lines would you be?
Well, our headquarters was back behind the 38th parallel. There's one that I'm on a pole there. See, they had a big sign up there. That's That was the 38th parallel. And we were about, probably a mile and a half or so behind that.
Okay. Now, was there still combat going on when you were there?
Yes, but I wasn't in any combat.
Okay.
But combat didn't end until, July, I think it was. They signed the peace treaty or whatever it was they signed.
Yeah, the armistice,
Armistice,
whatever.
yeah. And
Because there's never been a peace treaty signed.
that's right, it was all armistice.
Yeah.
So, now we, like I said, I really lucked out. But you could hear them. I mean, you could go up on the mountains and just like that, there was a picture of a tank sitting on this bridge where we see the cables going across that bridge, and that's me up there. And this is a part of the bridge. It was two double bridge, and this is the one that was
Across what river?
Imjim River.
Imjim?
Imjim.
Imjim River?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's is that by the 38th parallel?
That's just south of the 38th parallel.
Okay.
38th parallel just right up on the other side of that
Okay.
river.
Have any contact with the local people?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What was their attitude?
The local people were real nice. Yeah, we had a lot of contact with them. They did our laundry for us, the women. And see, here's one with one of the little kids.
Oh, yeah.
And there's one with me with the, up there with the.
Oh, that sign, 38th parallel.
Parallel.
Yep.
And there's another picture of our wire team right there. And there's a bunch of,
Is that you?
me, there's
Yeah.
a bunch of ammunition there.
Did you have many prisoners in your area, North Korean prisoners?
Not right in my area, but after the, what was it, armistice was signed, we helped set up Freedom Village, what they call Freedom Village, where they exchanged prisoners. And we had, let's see what, maybe I got, let's see, this is the, yeah, now in August of '53, when they set up the Freedom Village, where they exchanged prisoners, and they brought the Americans, prisoners, down from the north on trains to this Freedom Village, and they got the North Koreans, they brought them up from the south on the trains to this Freedom Village. That's where they exchanged them, and they were all brought up by rail.
And the Freedom Village was located where?
It was just up south of the Imjam, that river, and in between the river and where we were located over there. So,
When you set up the cables, the communication wires, what type of telephones did you have?
just those field phones,
Field phones.
yeah, like the military used,
Okay.
just little field phones.
Where did you get the poles? Did you make the poles, or the poles already there that you climbed?
Some of them, the ones that we used were already there,
Okay.
yeah. And we just used them. And a lot of our cables were on the ground, like like we have to go through a rice paddy, wade the mud and everything else.
Now, when you were taking your training, did you have training in pole climbing?
Well, I did that before I went in the service,
Okay, you did.
when I worked for the telephone company.
Okay, okay.
So I knew how to climb.
Which telephone company did you work for?
Well, it was the Garland Mutual Telephone Company
Okay.
there, just a small
Okay,
company.
okay. And how long were you in Korea?
I was over there from, we got over there in December, and I came back in February of '54.
What's your most vivid memory of Korea?
Oh, we're coming home. No, I don't know. I think one of the things was seeing those prisoners being exchanged. I mean, that was really something to see. I mean, you just thought about the guys up there, and and they were in bad health and everything, and some of them were still shot up and wounded, and it was bad. I probably the most things I remembered over there. Being that I wasn't in any actual combat, I didn't know what that was. But while we were there, we could hear them. The big guns, the artillery and everything were setting back quite a ways, and you could go up toward the front line, and the U.S. was on one ridge, and the North Koreans were on the other ridge, and you could look across and see them over there in the daytime. They did most of their fighting, a lot of their fighting at night, when it got dark. So.
Tell me about coming home.
Coming home? Well, I was over there, still over there in February, and I was to get out February the 17th of '54, and I was still in Korea. And there was a bunch of us that was due to get out. And what they did, there were 17 planes that flew those people back. And I was supposed to be one of them. And I kept sitting there waiting at the airport, and it kept flying out, and they never did get me. And finally, when the 17th plane came, I got on it. So I got on the 17th plane to come home.
And you left Korea from where? From Seoul or?
From the airport.
At Seoul?
Seoul.
Okay.
Yeah. And we flew to Midway Island. They let us unboarded there, and fed us at the mess hall. And we left Midway Island, flew to Hawaii, and we stayed there 2 days. Then we flew from Hawaii into Almadena, California airport. Then they shipped us down to Treasure Island there at San Francisco. And we were discharged from Treasure Island there in San Francisco
And you were discharged when?
in February
Well,
'54.
54.
But then I had 6 years of reserve after that, inactive reserve. So I really didn't get out until 1960.
Okay. And did you have to do any reserve time, reserve duty, or?
No, I didn't. I was
Okay.
inactive
Okay.
reserve.
What did you do after you got your discharge?
Well, I came home, and I went back to work for some construction on the road. And I worked for that telephone company again, and worked for the farmers. And then I fooled around, and what was it, in '55. Well, actually, in 55. But I got to thinking at the end of '54, man, I don't want to do this the rest of my life, you know. So I thought, well, I better go see if I can go to college, because I'd been out of school for quite a while. So I thought, well, I better go to junior college first. So I enrolled in Fort Scott Junior College. And I went up there 2 years. And then I transferred to Pittsburg State University and graduated from Pittsburg State. And I majored in business with a major in accounting. And after I got out of college, I went to Kansas City looking for a job. And I don't know, I must have went to a dozen people up there, different locations, to trying to find a job, and a lot of them weren't hired. So I happened to go to Phillips Petroleum Company. I went in there and I got a job at Phillips.
What'd you do for Phillips?
Well, first I worked in the mailroom. To start with, everybody that went to work up there went through the mailroom first. And after the mailroom, you got transferred up to some section. And I went up to what they called TBA, which was the tires, batteries, and accessories section. And I worked in there for several months. And then from there, I transferred over to the refined products group. And I worked with these consignees, the individuals out here in the country selling, peddling gas, oil, and what have you. And then after I was in that, well, then we transferred down here to Bartlesville in 1964.
Now, where were you when you were?
I'm Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Okay.
And we transferred, the whole group transferred down here, all the divisions, the regional offices transferred in here to Bartlesville. And I've been in Bartlesville here since '64.
Yeah.
And I retired in '92.
Okay.
And well, been retired ever since.
Would you join the Marines again?
If I had to go back in the service, I would, I think. They're a good outfit.
I'd like to do a word association. I'll give you some words and you give me a reaction. The first one is boot camp.
Tough. Rough.
Camp Delmar.
Nice. Learn a lot.
Winter training.
That was rough, because we didn't get to do much training. It was too cold.
USS Menifee.
Yeah, a good ship.
Korea.
That was rough. Scary.
Laying cables.
Wasn't too bad.
Douglas MacArthur.
He was a good general.
Harry Truman.
Who?
Harry Truman.
He was a good president.
Dwight Eisenhower.
He was a good president.
How do you want to be remembered?
How do I want to be remembered? Just a plain old Bob.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Not offhand, I can't think of anything.
Well, sir, this is an excellent interview.
Well, thank you.
I want to thank you for your service and thank you for the interview.
Well, thank you.
And again, this is July 24th, 2018. My name is Joe Todd. This has been an interview with Robert W. Hamilton in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Thank you.
Thank you.